Are you?
No, me. Okay, it's been a while. Welcome back to Chronicles of Lorei'an, where we take a break, take a week off to go to Japan, uh, join up with, tribes of large lion people and fight for our honor to ascend the mountains of the stars. Uh, Last time, the party of Naseambar on the last legs of their journey in the desert of Ruben Ridge, coming through to excavate ruins on the orders of the Cobalt Soul and the College of Ashes oh so long ago, to uncover the ruins that
Still on
have
that
been
mission.
to excavate and uncover the ruins that have recently emerged above ground due to the result of a massive earthquake that occurred shortly after a blood sacrifice by the Lorei'an blades so long ago. But regardless, the world in this new state and ruins uncovered, scientists and researchers all rushed to go in and take and siege control, study these new ruins that have been uncovered from the undergrounds, buried underneath the sands for God knows how long. You had uncovered from the library a research facility in, I believe, Iolos? Iolos, yes, is the name of the research facility, where you had met a malfunctioning robot librarian in which Ronax had promptly repaired and got back into working condition. It was revealed to you that the world and the library, the kingdom of Sif, has fallen all over 2,000 years ago, approximately. And so history within the kingdom of Sif remains in a state of disrepair and being lost in time. Having to now recount all of the histories in the past 2,000 years, the librarian goes back to his duty of rearranging shelves, putting things into categories, and sorting out history. You, on the other hand, headed forwards to the ruins of S4, known as Uxelian, made to be known as the largest residential district of the old Sifanian kingdom. Now buried underneath a mountain, which is considered to be a holy ground for some Leonin tribes warriors that inhabit the area. You rode into some open fields, whereupon you encountered these Leonin warriors riding atop their horsebacks into attacking automatons that your Archon of the Stars friend, this construct that you've given the name to as Archie, had gathered and corralled these forces of constructs and automaton once under the control of the Sifanian kingdom to find new purpose and to regather their forces for essentially moving on from the old world. You had saved them, rushed into battle with these Leonin. Most of them had retreated at the sight of you appearing. However, one of their warriors disobeyed the retreat command and rushed back into battle where he faced Nepenthe. This warrior had given his name as Athos, in Leonin meaning Braveheart. Facing you in battle, being bested by you, he recognizes that you are not demons or any of the sort that he had been taught growing up, but instead are you had introduced yourself to be the tribes people of the Shadakai tribe. I believe you had introduced yourself as. And with that, he had accompanied you back to his village of the Savithrash, these Leonin tribes, in which met you with, at first, curiosity, but then became very welcoming as you ascended the stairs to the temple where the chieftain, the Shehachevi, resided. There was some conflict, some tension between Athos himself and the Shehachivi upon being struck in the face for disobeying commands. The chieftain walked up to all of you and said, For those to ascend to the top of Mount Savithrash, you needed to prove yourselves as worthy warriors, as the mountain itself is considered holy grounds, a pilgrimage site for true chosen warriors of the Savithrash to ascend. Your objectives, of course, being on top of Mount Savithrash, you agreed to partake in this combat of sorts, and we ended off last time as your friend Nepenthe Urdu is pushed through rusty iron gates into this combat ground, shearing with Leonin and lit by firelight, and drumming with war horns and drums. Now, before we get into the session proper, I have a small but should be very short but fun set of improv games that might help us get into character, kindly recommended to me. So, how this is going to work is this set of improv games is going to perhaps help us get into that mindset of the game a little bit more, including myself. I am going to ask you a very simple question about your character. And, sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm going to ask you to tell me something about your character. Something that could be incredibly small and insignificant, such as he always wakes up early to take a jog. Or it could be something very big, like he has an emotional trauma in childhood regarding being poisoned in his meal or something like that. And no matter what you tell me becomes immediate canon. And you think of this, I could either be smallest insignificant detail, and it will become ammunition for you to play with in the future in RP scenes. So I guess we'll go in order. Off the top of your head, I'm going to have you tell me something new about your character, which will then be immediately made into canon. If you don't mind starting with Amir, since you're first on my Discord camp.
She is something new.
Mm-hmm.
She's bad at cooking.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. Thank you. So next, I guess, would be Aurora.
She has a sort of ritual that she doesn't do at a certain point in the day, but she will take out the braids in her hair, brush it out, and put them back in over the course of like an hour or something. Just really careful with it.
Okay. What about you, Aurora? What about Xavier?
Something new. He has a couple notebooks, a couple of which he doesn't show the party for different reasons.
Okay. How about Ness?
Ness's favorite dreams are ones where he can fly like Snowfeather.
Okay. How about you, Golf? Something new about Akil.
When Akil has an upset stomach, he will eat some stone.
When he has an upset stomach, he eats stones?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
That's so bird. I love it.
That's incredibly bird. One more, quick one. This one, Hot Bird Summer. This one can be done in chat. So, let me describe a scene to you. You're on the Ventus Ferrum, sailing the high seas, winds battering against the sails. You're feeling the winds, the soft ocean air on your face. As the Ventus Ferrum rushes onwards in the sea, you are faced with a storm, a typhoon, a ravaging, heavy storm and hurricane. You see an island off in the distance. The ship is about to capsize. It breaks in half. You are able to grab two things before you swim to shore. What do you grab? I'll give you a moment to think about this one. You can type this one out in chat.
I will grab up Mabilis.
Okay.
Because she cannot fly. My character can fly, so I can just grab people and fly.
True.
My first thought was, Amaryllis can't swim. I better grab her.
If you can only come up with one thing, that's fine. But if able, two things that you would grab off the Ventus Ferrum before the ship capsizes and you swim to shore.
And maybe his sword because someone gave a sword to him, right? So he's gonna carry it with him.
Okay.
Two things.
Relax is like, I have too many things.
You're muted. I would
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab my pack and Tiber's hat.
Okay. Cool.
didn't realize it was muted. It's like Vorax is so big. I'll grab Sea Serpent and Vorax.
Okay, yeah. That can be done.
There's nothing else she could grab. That's it. That's the important things.
It just shows your priority.
Could she even grab Vorax?
Yeah, I mean, counts. What else?
Two things. He doesn't need anything really. He's
Okay.
able to do everything he needs to do with like a blade.
So he just jumps off and swim first to shore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he would be grabbing anything. He would just be fixing the situation.
Okay. How about Ness?
So assuming that he has his This is a good question. I'm gonna actually say the shield
Okay.
would be assuming that the shield and the necklace are his two most important possessions. Assuming that he already has those, he might grab some other things, but those are the two most important.
Yes, as Joe has pointed out very smartly, this just points out the two most important things to your character. Not that Amabilis is one of the most important things to Nepenthe, but rather that the act of protecting a friend who cannot swim and swimming to shore is one of Nepenthe's most important values. So with that, let us get into tonight's session proper. Now with maybe perhaps a little more ammunition to play with in the future.
No, you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Amidst the sky of blazing stars and the pyres of torchlight that shine down upon the arena, the Dustadur, the trial, hundreds of shears ring out and echo into the mountain peaks, the flames roaring along with its inhabitants. Roar! The Sarvithrash Leonin cry out in excitement and anticipation as the war drums rage on and the war horns are blown into the skies ahead. As tribute to their fathers, a battle is about to begin. Two warriors take center stage. Nepenthe Urdu of Nase Ambar steps out from the shadows of the holding room as rusty iron gates creak open and the chosen warrior of the Savithrash approach from the opposite end, Ira. And his overwhelming great axe strides onto the battlefield roaring, pointing fist up into the air. The Shehachivi, the Shiftain, signals the beginning of the fight. And for but a moment, the crowd goes silent, not even the drums sound at the beckoning of his speech. And then... the war horns sound once more as both warriors rush into battle. Alright, Nepenthe. So... apart from the various benefits that have been given to you with aid and I believe with bless that have been casted on you at the end of last session, we are going to hop straight into combat. I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
Okay. I have...
I did cast haste on her as well.
Okay, so you also have haste on top of that.
Okay, I have a 15.
He has a 10. You go first.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm going to rage.
Okay, roll a d8. D12, is it now?
Yes.
D12, yes. A 9.
Yeah.
What happens on a 9?
Roll a number of d12s equal to my rage damage. Aw, this one sucks. Like, it's cool for other people.
What happens?
I roll health, and then I can get it back, but I didn't lose any yet, so...
I'll let you keep that one, because it's interesting.
Okay.
Hold on to that, and you can replace that with one of your actions next turn. In the following turns, it can count as a hasted action, if you want to.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
As Nepenthe rages, I want to raise up my shield and quarterstaff into the sky and just roar. And as I'm doing that, I want to cast Shield of Faith.
Okay. You feel a glimmering warmth of green as vines start to appear over top of your armor. The embrace of the Wild Mother covering you like a shield, preparing you for any attacks that might come your way. As you walk up, Ira, with his massive stone great axe, swings it up and puts it on top of both his shoulders, flexing his muscles as he does. He just looks at you and says something in Leonin that you do not understand. Tyraskar.
No, she has tongue. She gets it.
Oh, he says, "Come, let us test our might each day. The chieftain is watching. I cannot dishonor him." It is your turn. You go into a rage. What do you do?
I'm going ahead and I'm gonna swing.
Okay.
I'm going to Reckless, Great Weapon Master. Oh, let me run here. 13 probably does not hit.
A 13
Don't
does
worry, I
not
have more
hit,
attacks.
unfortunately. Yeah, roll one more. This is reckless, yeah? Which means he also gets
Yeah.
a 17 will hit. A 20 actually will hit, yeah. Roll damage.
Okay. 22 damage.
Okay.
And then I have my hasted attack. Damn it.
That will not hit. As you run up, swinging your massive axe, you cleave Giant Slayer into the side of his arm. It slides into his pectoral muscles ever so slightly before he pushes away and takes his massive axe, blocks the other two attacks. Now on his turn, he pushes you back off and swings the axe around as his eyes also now go into a wild look upon your face. His jaws clench and bares his teeth at you. He is going to rage. As he flies into a rage, he comes at you with two attacks at first. The first one will be a 16 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. Second will be a 17 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. This one comes at you. You bring Giant Slayer up, bash it off to the side. He actually tries and shoulders you, but then you take the hit head on. No damage inflicted into your body. He takes his third attack. Actually, no. He's going to go into a frenzied rage and take his third attack on you. This one will be a 17 again to hit.
Nope.
Okay, just swing at you. Yeah?
I'm sorry, did you do it with advantage?
Yes, that last one was supposed to be at advantage.
Did he use his bonus action to rage?
Yes. Good call. That third attack would have gone off because he used his bonus action to go to rage.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's his turn. He tries his best to impose his attacks upon you, but every hit is just fended off. That's the end of his turn, and back to you, Nepenthe.
Okay, I'm just going to do the same. Just as a side note, how much AC do I get from Shield of Faith?
2, I believe.
2? Okay.
You
Yeah,
also
so you
get
get
2 from haste, so whatever your normal AC is, up it by 4. Also, your I don't know if you got my message, but your Great Weapon Master attack should be a +4, not +2.
It's because I did this math so long ago.
Yeah, since then it's increased with proficiency and whatnot, so it's +4.
Okay. Oh shit!
And I think someone's blessed you as well, haven't they?
Yes,
Oh my god! Oh, this is so much to keep track of now.
I know. I'll help you. You can make an attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Plus bless, so a d4. Never mind, a 19 will hit.
Who's concentrating on bliss?
None of us.
I didn't think I got blessed.
You did not. Must be me
Yeah,
misremembering.
none of us.
Okay.
Okay,
Good call.
ignore
I got
that.
hasted, aided, gifted, and now shielded.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one hits. Cool.
22
I'm gonna go
points
for
of
it
damage.
again.
Halved to 11.
That's a crit, baby. Which
Okay,
means
so-
I get an extra damage roll.
25 halved to 13. 12. Oh.
You guys put on my song. And then I'll go for the third attack.
Okay.
10 doesn't hit.
That will miss. Now, on his turn,
59
takes...
damage.
Yeah, sorry.
59 damage.
Okay.
Your total.
His turn. First attack off on you, that's a natural 20. So in the crit, he returns back the favor, dealing you a total of... double dice in this one. $20 points of damage on the first hit with a crit. Second attack comes at you at advantage with a 28 to hit.
Battle? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, max damage roll. Check that out. 12 plus 5, 17 points of damage halved. To, I believe that's 8. 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you already have the 20 from earlier?
The 20
8.
should be halved to 10.
Oh. Oh god, my math.
And then the last one, on his frenzied attack at advantage, that is a very good roll. That is a 27 to hit you.
That hits.
The last attack deals you 15 points of damage, half to 7.
Okay.
As now he rushes you with his great axe, swinging wildly 3 times. You want to go up to block, but in his frenzied rage, like drool flying, his eyes white with anger, just and you take all 3 attacks right off the brunt of it. That is his turn. Back to you now, as he circles back around.
Okay. I am going to... Does this seem like... I'm hesitating on using my more like magical-esque abilities because this feels like a brute strength kind of fight.
I mean, they've actively seen us cast like 7 different spells on
Yeah,
you.
but like... Alright, whatever. I'm going to teleport back.
Okay.
I'm going to like... And then I'm going to throw the Javelin of Lightning.
Okay. As you boom, back, the javelin charges up. Electricity sparks up its handle. You pull back and throw. Make an attack roll, and I am going to need to make a dexterity save on his part. That is a 14 dex save.
Damn it. It's a DC 13.
Okay. He takes half.
Okay.
Okay. That's the roll to hit. So the javelin itself misses. So the 7 points of damage does not come through. However, it deals an additional 3d6 4d6 if I remember correctly, which will be halved to a 6.
This weapon is cool, but it just doesn't satisfy me.
No, it doesn't. You watch as the lightning javelin fly past, the streaks of thunder, and lightning flies off the side of his head as he slow motion dodges off to the side. singed slightly by the lightning, but unfazed. Anything else? 2 more attacks, yeah?
Yep, I'm gonna run forward and do those attacks.
Okay.
Reckless Great Weapon Master.
18 will hit. 23 halved.
17?
17 just hits. 25
Okay.
halved. 2, I believe, 12. Yeah. Okay. You rush back, throw the javelin, and in the moment that the lightning strikes, dash forward, swing. He blocks, but it digs into his shoulder anyway. He pushes you backwards, and is now going to run circle up around you to behind, and you just watch him like in this brisk flash of movement duck down, and this flash of golden and yellow just ducks back down to around you. And you notice that he has let go of his axe at this point, and instead goes into a headlock from behind as he attempts to wrap his arms around your neck from behind. Make a contested athletics with advantage.
$25.
That succeeds. He he had only rolled a 15. His arms come wrap around your neck, but then you are able to pull and wrench his massive arm off and elbow him onto the torso as he steps back a few feet, now no longer holding the axe, but instead stands with 2 of his fists clenched, looking at you. That is his turn. Actually, he's going to take his frenzied attack, comes at you with a mean right hook. 21 to hit you?
Nope.
With haste, you manage to duck down as his right hook comes and swings wide. Back to you.
Cool. Same old.
Miss. Hit. And a hit. So that's a total of 29 half to 16, 15.
14.
14, thank you. 14 and then 24 half to 12. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So back on his turn, you watch as his bruised, bloodied, and battered forms, like still standing up, holding both fists clenched, his axe on the ground beside him. He comes in with 2 straights and a jab. First one will be a 16, misses. These rolls, 15. And the last one will be a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
Leave that last one, please. His fist clocks you on the side of the temple for 17 points of damage, half. And you just take his fist and barely move an inch. He then circles back around to pick his axe back up. And continues to stare at you deep in the eyes as he moves in circles around you. Back to your turn.
Cool. Gonna hit him again.
Yeah, cool. That's 30 points of damage total, half to 15. You watch as he takes the biggest, hardest hit you can manage as you cleave down and he guards with his massive stone axe, but then the axe breaks in half. Just breaks right in half as the giant slayer batters off on him to the side and he steps backwards a few steps. Still up, but very, very bloodied.
Cool. Okay. And then for the... I didn't do my hasted action yet, right?
No, you did not.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm gonna do my healing now.
Okay.
Just for fun. I'm back up to full. Or close to it.
Okay.
Yeah, she swings twice, breaking the axe, and then sort of takes a step back, rolls her shoulders, and preps for the next hit.
Okay. That's your turn, yeah? On his turn, he looks at you, eyes wide. You see the pupils barely there within the white of his eyes. He smiles at you, this toothy grin, and he says, "By no means, no stretch, the strongest I've ever fought. But I do not go down today. Not until the last drop of my blood." And he rushes up to, once again, do 3 unarmed attacks. One will be, once again, the very predictable right hook towards you, and he is going to grab your head and come and take his knee and jam it right into your face if it hits. That first one will be a 23 to hit you.
Yeah.
Okay. In total, 17 points of damage halved. So 8, I believe. Yeah. The second one, the knee to your face, will be a natural 20. As he rushes in, grabs your hair by the sides and pulls your face down with an unexpected sudden movement. The next thing you find is his steel-plated kneecaps right into your nose as something very clearly crumbles, and you feel the warmth of blood begin to fall down the side of your face. That's a total of 10, 16. 23 points of damage halved to 11. And the last attack is going to take both his fists up and come down at you with a hammer onto this top of the head with a 24 to hit you.
Yep.
Okay. You are battered by 14 points of damage, half to 7. And he is just grinning, smiling at you, fists both up. Back to your turn.
Alright. Wipe a little blood from my nose and go on for the next.
21 will hit.
21.
And with 24 points of damage, Nepenthe Urdu, how do you finish off the chosen warrior of the Savitrash?
She has been brought in close by those hits, and she sort of looks at the blood coming out of her nose and just uppercuts him.
Okay, not even with the axe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he goes flying back.
So, all of you watch and stare at your friend Nepenthe Urdu taking a beating and some very rough unarmed attacks from this Savitrash warrior. As for the last hit, she steps back, his axe broken in half with a mean right uppercut. You watch fangs go flying off onto the floor as he coughs up blood one more time before being knocked on his back. Tries to get up and catches one glance back at you, one at the eye, and says, "Well done," before passing out.
Okay, I was like, wait, I don't want to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The entire crowd goes silent. Not expecting it to be this much of a beatdown. The villagers quiet, staring at you. The Shehachivi stands up on his throne. And the entire village goes into this triumphant roar. All of them, their fists raised up into the air, shouting your name. Nepenthe, 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 Nepenthe. As you are immediately surrounded out of the opposite gate by the Savitrash Leonin that pick you up and raise them on. They raise you onto their shoulders and rushes you back into the gate. You just watch. The rest of you just watch Nepenthe get picked up by a a group of about 6 Leonin and disappears.
I lean over to Xavier and then breathe out heavily. Well, I knew she could do it. I'm really glad I was right.
I think Xavier just kind of laughs and looks up to Ness and goes, "Wait, were we actually at all afraid of this?"
No, were you? No, I wasn't afraid.
He smiles and like pats Ness on the shoulder and just goes, "Ness, she fights death, literally the incarnation of death, regularly. I think we're fine."
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean.
He smiles, winks, like they're both in on the joke. Pretends they're both in on the joke and goes, "Like I said, we're fine. Should we go catch up?"
Yeah.
You all are taken by a moment of surprise as a group of Leonin villagers starts to surround all of you speaking in this foreign language. Like in like this total excitement, all of these men and women just rushing up to you, taking in these new faces that have come to visit their village. And you are
Yeah. That's my face.
2 Leonin children climb up onto your back, Ness, and just starts to like claw at the side of your head and just goes to...
Yeah, that tickles.
I
At this
think
point,
Xavier sighs and goes, "Okay, yeah, fine. I guess I'm learning the new spell." And throws up tongue so that they can understand things and talk.
and you just hear all of them go, What is this furry thing that's sitting here? He's super big." And then the other one goes, "No, you idiot. He is a walking bison, but he stands on 2 legs." And the other one goes, "No, you idiot. The bison doesn't have horns. Doesn't have these horns like he does. This is an elk. The ones I've heard tell about." And all of them are just curiously glancing over you.
Did you cast a spell on yourself or on Ness?
Yeah. I'll actually, Ness is more fun. We'll cast it on Ness.
Yeah, I'm a Ness, and that is a Xavier.
All 3 children immediately jump off your body and back off. It speaks our tongue. And it says, "It appears to be a Ness. I do not know what a Ness is, but it appears to be one." At this point, the Shehad Shivi comes down from his raised chair and walks up towards all of you. His voice low, grumbled, but you see a look of joy about his face. These festivities have not been in place for a little while, and so he's been overjoyed by the sight of newcomers, especially ones that have displayed such strength in battle. And he says to you, in common, it's slightly broken common, "Our village welcomes your presence this day, travelers. Such a battle has not graced us since the day of our forefathers. Your companion, she has something special, a strength about her.
Ness, what is he saying?
Wasn't he speaking common?
He's speaking in common, yeah.
Yeah. I'll translate anyway.
Okay.
I just assume no one speaks common here.
I'm thinking that. I don't know. Maybe it was that the thing that happened in the library where I read the book. You have to tell how to read the other books, but I'm picking up other languages really quickly now.
I think what's funny to Ness is the way that we kind of flavored tongues is you just hear everyone as Elvish. So I feel like Ness doesn't understand he has to spell on him. It's just like, everyone speaks Elvish. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shehad Shivi says, "We are glad to announce the victory of our visitors. And with this, you are allowed passage up into the mountains of Savitrash Peaks. But... not until a feast is held in your name." And then all the other ones go, "Yeah, feast!" the villagers sort of now usher you out of the fighting pits, and into the village itself proper. Where? Give me a moment.
Snowfeather is already giving rides to some of the Leonin children, by the way.
They all just laugh and enjoy as this griffin, now almost fully grown, flies and glides them around.
I think I think because with Fine Steed, I can make any spell that targets me also targets Snowfeather, so Snowfeather also has tongues.
So at this point, she perfectly understands what everybody is saying, and so she is carrying out requests from the crowd.
Mostly she was really excited by the word feast.
Her eyes wide, running around. At the end of the shuddering anticipation and excitement of the battle, you are all ushered, apart from the pens, we'll get back to you, into the village streets, where the standing torches have been lit and the sound of drums and horns still play on unending. And amidst the cheering and happy crowd, you are spun around, dragged along by the arms, pushed forward by these 100 or so Leonin villagers back into the main plaza. You watch now, the skies are completely dark. These stars burning atop them, this vibrant silver light, and the platinum star that guides all of them in the center, immensely shining in the horizon overhead. You watch now what quickly becomes the cheering and happy crowd starts to put up decorations in the village and quickly becomes a beautiful and vibrant place. You see some of the villagers start to adorn colorful hand-painted masks as they ascend the stone steps to a set of massive drums and beating away the night with their sounds. A large banquet table is laid upon by palm leaves, and a wide array of food and drinks are brought out from their stone ovens and wood fires onto the table. Each dish is colorful, and the decorations that light up the village more vibrant than the last. In mere moments, you watch
I'll take a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I'll take a moment to exchange my mask for one of theirs.
Okay. It is sort of like this tribal like tiki mask, where it's like eyes and teeth very crudely hand painted on there. It looks very out of place on you.
I think he grabs one and goes. Looks down at it and goes, "This'll take a second," and he like reworks it to fit his own desire of how to look.
The elderly Leonin woman is overjoyed that a visitor is taking interest in her festivity wares. In mere moments, you watch as this desolate warrior tribe village gets turned into like a full Mardi Gras, a fiesta brimming with life and with color. You see pulled pork, like whole pulled pork, mountain goat, exotic fruits, spices, skewers of gaby meat dressed with yogurt and chili, cactus salad, various other delicacies that shall remain unnamed. Namely, unmentionable parts of animals that have been made into dishes as per their custom.
I shove
yeah?
Sorry.
No,
And I
please
just
go ahead.
shove everything into my mouth. That's like everything I feel kind of sort of like nom 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 nom.
Yeah, absolutely. You're led to the stone table, whereupon you start shoveling food into your mouth. It's delicious. It's vibrant, exotic, spicy, fragrant with flavor. The two same Leonin children who climbed up Dess's back now runs back up to you, Ness, with crowns made of pink and yellow cactus flower, and puts it on top of your head. And makes a bracelet for Xavier and Ronax and Akil.
I will also make a show of it as He's accepting whatever it is they're giving, the bracelets and whatnot, and will kind of pull away at his clothing. As he pulls it away, it all burns away into ash, like kind of expands outwardly and kind of falls to the floor and cascades out. And he'll have like his own take again on their own kind of customs and kind of taking a spin on it. So, like, kind of like an open, almost like V-neck of not V-neck, but like downs into a V of that kind of tribal like furs and whatnot, and open patches of skin throughout. It kind of reveals, and it's colorful and kind of falls into feathers on one end and then furs on the other, with like a cape.
At like a few seconds after the clothes burn up and turn into ash, the children gasp, immediately grabbing a bucket of water, about to splash it onto you before one of them stops and like, no, it's okay. It's magic. And then they just slowly back up. Yeah, all of the Leonin join you at the table, sits down, begins their feast. Meanwhile, Nepenthe, you are brought by this parade of Leonin into back up the top of the hills in the middle of the village and set down onto a tent. This very vibrant yellow and orange tent that opens up, and you see that on the inside sits a singular figure. Their eyes closed, cross-legged in meditation. At this point, tongues would still be on you, and these Leonin explain to you that they have brought you to the seer. And that the warrior who has bested Ira in combat deserve to have their fate foretold by this person in their village. As you are set down in front of this very vibrant and colorful tent, looking in, you feel a surge of arcane energy. Your tattoos light up, ever so slightly, with vibrant blue. Looking in, you just hear this feminine voice come in from the tent. Approach, child.
Yeah, I'll go in and I'll kneel down in front of her.
As you kneel affront this figure, clad in beautiful silk robes, is a very, very pretty, blue-eyed female Leonin. Her eyes like celestial bodies of stars staring at you. You see glimmers just like the skies overhead. She introduces herself as Star Whisperer Elena. Greets you with welcome and warmth. To the warrior who has has fought our best in Trial di Dastadura. You wish to ascend the mountain up to Savitrash, correct?
Yes.
For what purpose, I wonder? She looks at you deeply, her eyes piercing the veil of whatever thought you hold. Far you have traversed. Seemingly almost the opposite side of the world, yet you find yourself here. I must question. For what, I wonder, child, have you found yourself here?
There's a sort of monster inside your mountain, and we need to go take care of that.
She looks at you again, narrows her eyes, and says, No. Those are the words foretold about the Kothar. Those are our words. What is your purpose? For what do you seek the holy mountain of our people? Beckon do tell the truth, child.
We're collecting what you call demons, but they're robotic. They're magic. And there's a very powerful one that we need to go make sure isn't going to wake up.
She relaxes a bit, sighs, and says, "Our warriors sometimes get carried away by what they view as righteous, what they view as the duty that they must carry out. I, for some reason, believe that your definition of demon and ours are somewhat different."
I would agree.
At this point, also, in sort of simultaneous succession with one another, those of you at the table enjoying the festivities, all the various drinks, the foods that have been set down in front of you, the Shehat Chivi sits down at the head of the table. As he does, he says, "Brave warriors who are to ascend the mountain atop to Savitrash Peak. Do you wish to know the heritage, the story of why that place is so forbidden to outsiders?"
Because you got demons, right?
Korthar Valley has always been known for demonkind. Our fathers' fathers have fought back those that emerged from its depths in centuries long past. Under the guidance of the Platinum Star, we ride into battle. Perish the unholy. In the namesake of our land, our people. Simultaneously, she continues with you, Nepenthe. All these, like both of these speeches sort of ongoing both at the same time. Have you felt the earthquake that disturbed the entire mountain range a mere month ago?
I was there when it occurred.
So you know its source.
Yes.
Our people seem to think it to be the wrath of the divines. As following that earthquake, the mountains have grown taller. Pillars of white stone and earthen peaks pushed out from beneath the ground. Things that have been buried for thousands of years.
How is that possible?
Cutting back to the table. We do not know what causes it. It is worrying, to say the least. Reports of the foot of the mountain recently being beset by metal demons. Their invasions happening right after this great event took place. The old seers, they talk of some old being, old evil stirred up under the earth, something awakened by the smell of blood and death. Perhaps as part of this occurrence that you have mentioned. Its awakened minions swarm the underground, wishing for release back into the world. And we do our job to protect, to ensure this evil does not spread back out. Back at Nepenthe, the seer a more somber tone about her. The three tribes are normally on good terms, child. The Strixkai, the Petise, the Leonin Savitrash. Apart from the occasional pranking or stealing by the Petise, we were all once happy neighbors of one another. However, one day the seers of the Strixkai came to us, wishing to ascend to the top of the mountain to commune with the Platinum Star, and would not give up this cause, this desire, no matter at what cost, even when we warned them that those grounds are sacred, forbidden to all but our greatest warriors. Only those chosen by the stars can ascend up to the mountain and face the Platinum Star. Our own Shehachivi once made the pilgrimage years ago and communed with the ancestors atop the peak. They told him he must be Shehachivi and protect all else from ascending the mountain at all costs. Perhaps that's why he is so hard on all of you. And had it not been for this prediction, maybe all three tribes would not be in so much conflict. Both at the tent and at the table, does anybody have anything to say back to this?
I think I do take note of this idea that they also talk to their ancestors in the stars, but I don't say anything. I pick up a little bit of that.
The metal demons that you've already fought, do you still have them?
We have some stored, the lifeless bodies in a back shed. In a place that we wall off, at the foot of the mountain. Our gods have collected the bodies and perhaps they would be of interest to you. But regardless, you have achieved the Shehachivi's permission to ascend the steps. Keep in mind, this is no feat, not even for a great warrior. Even the strongest of our Revel, our knights, struggle the ascent. Beset on dangers by all sides, the most precarious mountains in these lands will test you. And in your ascent, perhaps you may find some answers.
I hope so.
Tomorrow, our warriors, our Revel, will escort all of you to the foot of the mountain, where you will begin your 3-day trek. The path of the pilgrimage is dangerous, precarious. You will not be accompanied by any of us. Left to whatever devices you may have on yourself. But prithee, beware the dangers of the mountain. Korthar Valley besets all, with great terrors of old unknown. And if they are indeed disturbed by this earthquake, then perhaps we have more to fear.
To take more of it.
You said that there was from the Strixkai. Yes.
One of your kind.
What did they say exactly?
They tried to break the rules, transgressed upon our discussion. Savitrash Peak is to be protected by all 3 tribes, no matter what cost. And no one would be allowed up apart from the chosen. Their village, their people, their seers wanted to ascend, bypassing the step. We will not allow. Not unless they prove themselves worthy.
But they never told you why it was so urgent.
After the earthquake, everything became fucked, to say the least. Our relations shattered. All that we held dear, shoved aside in name of tradition. Our good standings demolished. But I am one who upholds these traditions, and I cannot allow anybody who has not proven themselves worthy to face our ancestors up there on the top of that mountain. Is that all, Amir? You should enjoy your food. Your friend should be right back with you soon. The feast continues on throughout the night. Enjoy in our festivities, our drinks, our food, and have a good night's rest. For the next 3 days will not be easy on you. And he gets up and turns back around. Depends shortly after the Star Whisperer, Elena, waves you goodbye, imparting you with a gift. She hands to you an orb, about the size of your palms. Within it, you see the glimmering of various stars and celestial bodies, all connected by lines and dots. Looking into it almost seems like staring into a wide open sky at night. And as she hands this to you, she says, there are a great deal of ways. Sorry, that was the Shihachimi's voice. There are a great deal of ways to commune with the spirits at the top of the peaks. Unless they recognize you to be one of their own, they will not allow you passage. Focus on this, on your mind, your spirit. And even our past forefathers will allow you passage safely into the mountains.
Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck in your journey. And may you visit us again in the future, maybe once after things have calmed.
I will.
She bows. It is an honor, Revel Nepenthe of the Shadakai.
I don't know if I've earned that title, but thank you.
It is only natural. You beat our best in combat. Ira was the best of our Revel, and so beating him has earned you that title as well. In your tongue it means Night Warrior, a combination of those two words. So live up to that name. Farewell.
I will.
You depart the tent, join back with the rest of your party at the banquet table. You see Akio completely stuffing his face full of various meats, bones piling up on the plate in front of him.
Occasionally, someone puts a chicken leg on my plate, and I surreptitiously put it under the table, and there's a commotion and stuff, and it doesn't really fit under there anymore.
Bonk.
There we go. So,
Hey guys,
Hey, where you been?
just talking to spiritual leaders. You know.
Yeah, the chief guy says that they speak to the stars here, and the ancestors is in the. I think sometimes I doesn't understand things that well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go talk to their ancestors. So, I've got this now. It's a star orb that will help me.
It's very round.
Mhm.
Nepenthe,
Do
you
you guys
can.
get a?
Sorry, you can add the Orb of Communion to your inventory.
Did you guys get the whole rundown on like the earthquake and everything, or?
Yeah. We talked to the chief about it.
Cool.
As the night carries on, moon moving across the starry sky, past the banquet time into rest. Would anybody like to do anything before we move on to the next day?
I think so. Do I have time to finish reading my book?
I think you do at this point. You'll
Right.
have to like part yourself off from the banquet a little early. Give yourself some time to study before bed.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm there for a couple of hours turning pages. No. Oh, that's right. I shouldn't try to do everything at once. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. And then eventually I'll snap the book closed. Right. And where are we staying, by the way?
You are staying in sort of a small, enclosed clay hut off to the side of the village that the Shehachivi has prepared for you. So like one of these domes right here. We'll say like for the purposes of this one right here by the water.
So I think close up on my face as I walk up to the camera, and I'm like, hello. I've come to talk to you about the Wild Mother. Has you ever considered that there might be a higher power in blessing all of the natural things of the world, and the camera pans around and I'm talking to all of their horses.
You watch one of them go.
I'm using speak with animals.
You can't understand what it says, right?
Yeah.
Oh god. We have heard of this Wild Mother you speak of. We sometimes hear it in the dirt, the grass we eat. Are you like her messenger or something?
Yeah. Look, listen. How is your lives here? Oh no, how's you working? Is everything okay?
Oh, everything's fine on me back right there. I think I've managed to build a bit of muscle on my legs and my backs. Some of the days it gets particularly rough and the food ain't so good, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Well, actually, I can help a little bit with that. I'm going to do a little miracle now. It's no big deal really, but I'm going to cast Create Food and Water. Which creates, I think it's enough food for 10 people in container, and enough water in various containers that are lying around the place.
This goes, oh my. Now, that's a miracle if I've ever seen one. I'm telling you. Are you the Wild Mother?
No, the Wild Mother is here. Say hello. She wanted me to tell you that she loves everybody very much, especially if they takes care of nature and its creatures. And tell your friends.
Oh, that's awful nice of her. I want you to tell her that we love her too.
Yeah, she knows. All right. Have a good meal. Enjoy. Happy feast day.
Happy feast day, big furry man.
Yeah. And I wonder why you're going. That went quite well.
This increases your stamina?
Charisma.
No, charisma. Why do I want that? Charisma. Sorry, my brain was in Dark Souls mode.
Stamina.
Yeah, stamina.
Is there dancing at the feasts?
There is plenty of, at this point, I suppose we're looking at where it's at its peak, where people have taken these long poles that are lit up on fire on both ends and have just begun this like fire dance. It's like a beautiful combination of a Mongolian plus Dothraki plus like Tiki tribes all meshed into one like beautiful pile.
I think Xavier doesn't eat much throughout the night. He spends a lot of it watching that. In like an hour or two in watching that, sitting next to Nepenthe, he thinks that he could be able to replicate it. He knows his own like ability of the blade and whatnot, and he's practiced with Dawn his whole life. And there's some cockiness in him that's like, I can do that, and he wants to. And then his eyes travel off and watch the other people, not like the performers dancing with the flaming weapons or anything, but like the regular people, just people dancing and swaying and kind of moving through the night and having a good time.
As
And he turns and goes.
Nah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
As he sees that, he turns and goes, "Hey, you ever dance?" It's an offense.
A long time ago. Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't that long ago.
$40, give or take.
You remember the steps?
They're not these steps. I don't know these songs.
Neither do I. Stands up and holds a hand out.
She hesitates, but she'll eventually put her hand in your hand.
I'm gonna drag her out onto the dance field where everyone's kind of just moving and swaying, and try to get a feel for it.
Okay. Both of you make performance checks for me, please. The drums come on.
It's not my greatest stat, to be honest.
Among the flames, this dance becomes intense, powerful. It is nothing short of 14 and 15. You match equally, as both of you expect to go into this first, like just trying to move your bodies around. But as these Leonin comes up, starts to guide you around, you go into these rapid, sharp movements along with the beats of the drums, along with the dancing of the tribes. It's a lot like fighting. It's strange. Xavier, you default to sort of like your blade dance maneuver, while on Nepenthe you go into all of these like strikes and poses and stills. The Leonin all around you clap and cheer. Mm-hmm.
Do you know it's a recent reference, so it should be hopefully people know it, of Shang-Chi in when the mother and father meet and they have those like swaying fighting movements and moving, like manipulating each other in almost like a fight, but through choreography and dance, right?
And it makes sense that you match because you've done this sparring practice time and time again. Yeah. And at this point, it becomes almost like a rhythmic
they fall into
dance.
that very quickly.
Yeah. Almost instantly, you get into that trance, that state of moving around, dancing. Leonins surround the both of you, seeing you dance, twirling their pillars, their quarterstaffs lit up in fire. You watch them. I hit my mic. Go into this spin, turn, twirl, and you start replicating those movements. They are impressed by your performance. You are challenged by one particularly lean-looking Leonin who walks up to you, Xavier, spinning quarterstaff in hand. This massive mane around side of his head as he looks at you and smiles. Dance off?
I think he looks at the pen and then this person, I don't know that he really wants to leave. The egomaniac in him takes a step towards it, and he stops and goes, maybe another night. And I think he stays.
He doesn't understand what you're saying. He instead stares at you for a little while, confidence like overwhelming about his body, looks at you and then glints his eyes, scratches his shin, waits as nothing happens, and then shrugs and turns back around.
Yeah, I think he just stays.
Alright. Towards the end of the performance, all of these twirls, these spins, these fiery dances come to a crescendo as one of them the one that challenged you to a dance, Xavier, extremely showboating, slides up onto the center of the floor, takes the torch that he has been holding and sticks it in his mouth, and immediately bursts out fire from his maw. And with that, the performance slowly halts and everybody dissipates and slowly separates back out as the night slows down.
I don't know how you feel about it, Roy. I don't think Xavier wants to leave that dance. And I think the party breaks and people wander off, and the night grows wearier and wearier. And if you're cool with it, I think they just keep going. It started in that like awkward phase of us neither of them knowing what they're doing, and then as Billy and Lyndon walk them through steps, they get more confident, and as the dancing, our party reaches its apex, so do they, and the dancing, and as the night winds down, it just slowly forms into slower movements and swaying and connectedness until it's like midnight and they're still just dancing.
You've seen her get more exhausted from training. Like, this is...
Yeah.
There's
This
something
is
about
hard.
dancing for her that just keeps her awake and keeps her alive, and she doesn't look burdened for that time.
As this goes on into the night, crowds disperse, and as the fires start to die down, decorations taken back and food and plates cleaned out from the banquet table. Amir, you still there?
No.
Oh no!
You picked the worst time. I just got up.
Sorry.
I was gonna go get water.
Ronax, you watch as into the night these two friends of yours dance. And the dance slows down, and though crude and somewhat unrefined, you can't help but be reminded of the top of the Blue Gale. And the bubbles and the floating jellyfish, the luminescent sky and blues, and you and Captain Balasar also waltzing on top of the deck of the Blue Gale. That memory reaches you for a second. And as fast as the wind blows by you, that flash of memory trying to hang on to it, it has been such a long time since then. But yes.
I think for a while, she's sitting there and she's got her notes that she's looking through while she's eating from the documents in Magnum Opus. And she's flipping through them. And as everybody kind of begins to file out, she closes the notebook and she looks up and watches them move and sway. And as the memory comes back to her, she looks around and pulls out the portable and from it pulls her violin, and for the two of them begins to play.
Make a performance check with advantage. You've played this song over and over, this same waltz.
Nope, what did I click on? Oh wait, that wasn't me.
This is just certainly
Does it show up? $19. Two of you amidst your dance. Now as the music dies down, you're like, oh, party's done already, and like the even the musicians start to pack up and leave. You hear a beautiful violin emerge out from the banquet table in the hall. It continues on for however long you wish to stay there with you. At the same instance, Akil, Amabilis has just passed out, her tummy bloated with food, leaning onto the side of your shoulder, completely and utterly unconscious at this point.
He would be so full right now, so maybe he would like to take a night stroll, maybe? Yeah.
Okay.
He would like to take a night stroll. Bring him with him a sketchbook and a pencil, yeah.
Okay. Strolling through the Saritrash village at night, all of the drum beats, the war horns, the commotion earlier seems to just be a thing of the past. Taking your stroll, the stars here are brighter, clearer than any other part of the world you've ever been in. It's beautiful. And you think of the climb tomorrow and take this moment to a free time to relax and sketch. What do you sketch? If I could ask.
Can I sketch the people and the city? Just like sketching
Yeah,
people
a
who
landscape piece, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like a Japanese kind of thing where they put people and buildings as well, how the lifestyle.
Yeah. It's like a portrait, like a landscape piece of the whole, like a still, yeah. Just make me a quick painter supply check.
I love my proficiency, my painter supply.
20, perfect, clear, crisp. You encapsulate each and every moment of each walking, passing passerby, each torchlight, the colors, the vibrant foods on the table, everything, the stars. You feel satisfied with the sketch.
Akil's gonna think of himself. He's going to show this sketch to everybody afterwards. Eagerly, yeah. So he eagerly walks back to the inn.
Yeah, like a clay hut, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else for the rest of tonight before the night goes by and the day follows?
Yeah, I was actually wondering while she was looking over her notes, what it was that she was able to find out.
Could you give me specifics? Like, what about the magnum opus are you trying to determine? This is from the research notes from Iolos, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Specifically the liquid substance.
So for that, it actually requires the use of a relatively special piece of equipment called a distiller. Whereupon, using a magical item, you will be able to extract its liquefied substance using this machine called the distiller into first very fine powder. This powder is referred to as residuum. And using a mixture of this residuum along with other substances listed, a few chemicals, a few alchemical substances, you form the liquid that is used to fuel the magnum opus itself. Blueprints are given towards how this distiller functioned in the past and how to build one. In total, you reckon it will take you around 300 gold pieces worth of of tinkering supplies. So like the pieces of metal, everything that you've gathered throughout, and will take you around 2 weeks. Cool. Alrighty. And with that, sorry, Ness, you wanted to say something?
You mentioned the stars were very clear that night.
Incredibly so, more than any place you've ever been.
I remember what the chieftain's words were earlier, and I think I climb up on one of those rocky outcrops, like somewhere maybe where I can see the stars above, and I can see where everyone was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I look up and find the shape of the great tree, and then count 2 stars. Hello, Amal. It's been a while. I've been super busy. I doesn't know if you can see this, and I'll point down at the silhouettes of Nepenthe and Xavier dancing.
Mm-hmm.
These is 2 of my dearest friends, and it reminds me of that time, the midsummer, when I was dancing with Rava and Iway, and that was a really happy time, and I missed that. And I hope that if Dave's there with you, you say hello. My friends here being happy makes me really happy.
You look and see various constellations about the sky. Here in Savitrash, not one prevalent constellation is present for each part of the year, whereas that has always been the case. Some constellations are more present than others as the lunar cycle and the year goes by. Here you see more than over half of them clearly. You see arbor in the shape of the sapling, your mind drawing shapes as the sapling within the night sky itself forms that very clear image of the coming of spring. So very clearly in early autumn, you see falchion signaling the end of autumn, also vibrantly clear. Draco, the constellation for the ending months of summer, having just left you 4 days prior, but here is still as vibrant as ever. And amidst it, you see one singular bright star, the Eye of the Dragon. This bright, shining platinum star. Used to tell direction by sailors, by adventurers all over, their guiding light. It shines its light upon you, calm, peaceful. And you take that into silent appreciation.
I think I'm going to sleep out under the stars tonight. Feels like it would be good luck.
Spend the night basking in starlight. You know what?
As Ness basks overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Ronnie, if you had anything else.
No, I was gonna say as this night comes to an end, there were a lot of beautiful character moments, and because it's been a while and I feel like it, I'm gonna give everybody a point of inspiration.
Okay.
But yes, go on.
I was gonna say, while Ness finds his way to sleep, and Ronax eventually kind of treads off. I think the 2 of them just stay dancing. That it gets to the point of like dancing is fucking hard, man. It's the point where like the movements have been so exhaustive that they're not necessarily dancing together anymore, just kind of swaying and moving together in the moonlight. And Xavier's head is probably resting on their shoulder at this point. Because he definitely takes up that role in the dance. And I don't know, he just says, I didn't realize dancing could be so exciting. Like, it's so much, takes a lot out of you. And I dance, like, it's my whole thing.
You're tired? Nights like this used to go
You're
on
not?
till morning. No.
You used to dance a lot?
No, not at all. Yeah, I used to. You probably wouldn't believe it, but I used to sing and dance and laugh every day. I wish you could have known me then. I think you would have liked her better.
I'm happy knowing you now, just fine.
I've got death on my heels. It can't be fun.
Death isn't necessarily all that nice, no. But that's not you.
I know that you didn't get to hear it, but when I spoke to the Raven Queen, she let me know that I'm immortal. Or something of the sort. I'm never going to die.
I think there is like a wave of different reactions. It's thoughtfulness and like kind of working through the words, not like confused. I think he's at this point reached the point of not being like caught off guard by things very often. And he works through it, and you see he reaches a point where he just kind of smiles and smiles and says, "Weird thing. I need to do some research. All I have is rumors and hearsay, but taps like the center of the mask and goes, might be in the same boat."
Great. You, me, and the goddess of death until the world explodes.
Wouldn't happen any other way.
You wouldn't rather grow old, watch your kids grow up?
Who says I can't have that?
It's harder when you know that you'll have to watch them go. You might not want that.
I'm not sure I'd ever have to. Weird thing for you, yours is not a gift or anything, but doesn't come from blood. It comes from connection. As far as I know, mine's all me. Pretty sure I could pass it on. Studied genetics a handful of times.
Yeah, you know I'm not very learned. So
I don't think I have
know
to get into the X, Y, and things.
I wasn't saying I was. You're fine with never dying?
My dad talked to me a lot about it. He said, it's something I should be prepared for. Between his blood and mom's, it's... She lived so many lives, you know. She was a warrior, a thief, a princess, a scoundrel, everything you could ever imagine and more. And I don't know, I lived in a tower for however long. I've been here, 6 months, and got to experience what I've gotten to experience. If I can have an eternity of that, what else can I ask for? Yeah, there's stress and fireballs and death around every corner, but I get to dance with you.
I hardly think that a single evening with me is worth all that you say it is.
You'd be surprised.
I should tell you, the night you made that illusion, you were trying to show me my home, and I made the mistake of telling you about 2 different ones. The home you showed me was where my children are. And I wasn't ready to see that.
Sorry.
You didn't know, and I'm not telling you so you can apologize. It was very thoughtful, is all I'm trying to say. And I hope that you get to meet them.
I'd love to.
Of course, they all look older than me now, but, they're good people.
I mean, if you raised them, I'm sure they'd beat the shit out of me, but...
I, made sure they were capable of many things.
At this point,
I think to end it, Xavier just says, so, the Panther Do is a singer.
You are gonna have to try a lot harder to get me to sing. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
I got it in my back pocket.
Why do I tell you anything?
Go ahead, sorry.
I think that's where it gets off.
Finish your thought, man.
I think it just cuts off with her saying that and Xavier laughing, and we just fade out.
At the mention of laughing, Amabilis stumbles over a few cups, very clearly drunk on food or alcohol. You don't know. She just spins around and walks over and goes, and Chester went over the wall and fell down, knocked over a few cans. And he fell and went over the wall.
Oh no.
I pick her up.
I'm doing my best to fill in for Lara.
It's going well. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll pick her up. We're gonna take care of her. Get her to bed.
The night goes on. Eventually, as the two disperse, Ronax, you put away your violin. Take a glance at the notes one last time and prepare for the journey ahead. So, as the new day dawns upon you, and so should the music in about 20 seconds, you are led by a party of about 6 or 7 Savitrash Leonin to the foot of the mountain. To this end, you are given clothes to prepare for extremely cold weather, furs, heavy furs, and layers and layers of leather. You can all add that to your inventory. With basically mountain climbing furs and jackets, all made to fit your size. These warriors see you off at the foot of this mountain. With them is the Sheha Chivi, who says, "The path ahead is treacherous. Beware each and every step, should you want to reach the peaks. I assume what you lie. This location you have told me of. I do not believe that it would take the full trek up to the peak to reach, however. God knows how long it stems. Should you find a temple, an old abandoned one, made of marble and stone, the same white material that you see jutting out of each of crevices of the mountain, you will see the statue of a dragon. Large, towering, larger than the entrance of the temple itself. That's where you want to go in."
Thank you.
Tribe of Shadakai. Vervel, warrior. Strixkai looks at you, Ronax. And even Ozil. A strange gathering of folks, yet wildly capable. You have brought joy to our village, so make sure that it is returned on your trip back down. And they see you off. Naseambar. What lies ahead of you is a very precarious 3-day trek up perhaps what is the most dangerous mountain in the known realms, at least in Ruben Ridge. The first day, you walk through a series of low elevation pathways. Occasionally, you catch glance of a few other Leonin who make their rounds on these low elevation grounds. You see herders of mountain goats, animals, traders, peddlers, being the most easy passage in most directions. However, that sense of easiness, that sense of how fine these tracks are, you worry that they are going to get worse soon. And they do. For within the evening of the first day, strong winds start to batter at your forms. You come across sheer rocky cliffs that are difficult to be traversed. These jutting out stones of white marble, jagged rocks, out of place within these mountains, almost as if they have emerged out of the ground with sudden movement, stand in front of you, blocking the mountain path. I would like you to, anybody who would like to lead this trek, to make a survival check for me and determine the best course through.
I'm okay at those. Does anybody have
Who's
better
leading?
+4?
Ooh, 24 for Ronax. Okay.
Ronax is better.
Ronax, you study carefully these rock formations. These are unnatural. Blocking out the main passageway, you look around, seeing these are still low elevation grounds. There are still pathways that extend outwards possible. Without much effort, Ronax, you lead the party through what would have otherwise been a very precarious climb, finding a small passageway that winds into a side cliff. It's a side squeeze, but the rest of you manage to slide your way through as the winds come down now stronger the evening of this first day, battering against you. Carrying for each step, you squeeze your way through, coming out on the other end, free of the first obstacle. What would have cost you extra time, and should you have chosen to go straight on ahead, would have most definitely cost you some exhaustion. Well done. The first day comes to a close. The winds batter non-stop against the campfires, making it difficult to set up. The first day went by like a flash. You soon come to forget the easy mountainous trails, the soft, peaceful, low elevation that laid before you. And at the dawn of the first day, I would like somebody to roll a d6 for me. At the dawn of the second day, sorry. Did I say first?
Okay, I'll roll.
Okay.
Paul, if you want to do it? Or do him?
Jordan.
I'm okay.
Okay, a 1. The morning came with a sense of unease. Gray clouds atop the sky. You hear the distant rumbling of thunder. Autumn brings with it rain. And most oftentimes, these rain can transpire into violent thunderstorms. And that is exactly what happens on the second day. On the second day, Nase Ambar, as you travel through now into like the middle elevation, a thunderstorm blows through in the afternoon, making it impossible to tell day from night. The rains pour down heavily from the sky, the thunder's crackling from overhead, making travel and rest uneasy. I'm gonna need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Anybody who's within 10 feet of me gets +4 now.
Do we know who's within 10 feet of Ness?
I will say within 10 feet. Thematically, who would I will allow 2 people to be within that space. 3 people actually.
I'm so sorry. I keep rolling with advantage.
No problem.
Yeah, let's just say we'll give it to Ness, and then, or not Ness, Ronax, and the two, Aquila and
Xavier.
Aquila better. Yeah, Xavier and Amabilis maybe, because Aquila were good.
Okay. That gives you a plus how much?
4.
Plus 4. Ness, you meet exactly the DC of 15.
No, I don't.
You don't?
Yeah, he already has.
Okay, gotcha. So, to most of you, pushing through this thunderstorm is difficult, but not overly so. Even amongst the slippery, rocky surfaces, you push through, unable to communicate, unable to hear each other through the rumbling of thunder. The day's travel weighs quite heavily, particularly on Ness and Amir. On Ness and Ronax. The 2 of you take a point of exhaustion. And even as night comes, the thunderstorm continues, making it incredibly difficult to set up tent for the night. Your campfire keeps getting blown out, trying to find... Actually, let's make this a roll. I will allow 2 people.
I will go ahead and cast Fabricate.
Okay.
And burrow into the wall, into the mountainside itself, and bring the stone that I used to burrow up and outward to form kind of like a little canopy above us
that will work.
Is designed to spread water out.
That will work. I was gonna have you guys roll perception check to find a cavern or something that you can take shelter in within the night, but that will suffice. With the usage of Xavier's Fabricate, you sleep somewhat comfortably, even though water pours down and almost floods the entire passage up this mountain. You at least find sleep for the night. You can take away that point of exhaustion. Had the you've not been able to sleep under very good circumstances that night, you would have suffered an additional point. But luckily enough, Xavier is a very thoughtful young man.
Yep, it does require food and water, but I can create more.
Okay. The third day rolls up. Somebody roll a d6 for me, please.
Golf, 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 golf.
Golf, yeah, why don't you roll a d6 for me?
Yay, okay.
Where's my pen?
6.
There it is.
I'm playing on my iPad.
Roll again, please.
Okay. Roll. I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit slow.
3. You wake up lethargic on the third day. Sunlight barely reaches you as you are now high up in sort of middle to high elevation within the mountain. Animal life becomes sparse, and less so are people. You feel chilly air all around you, present throughout the day. The higher up you go, the colder it becomes, requiring you to huddle together at certain times. And even when trying to take a break or rest during the day from the climb, you find it incredibly difficult to use your muscles to focus as the cold comes in incredibly tough upon you. What the cold also brings is slippery mountain slopes. Watching each careful step as you traverse and climb, mountain climbing gear about you, you now come to a more or less incredibly steep wall with no clear path forward. Seeing as how you have to climb this to progress, I'm going to need everybody to make either... No, this would be athletics. Not acrobatics, because it is a feat of having to push yourself.
What is the distance on this?
Like
how far?
Make a perception check.
11.
Mm-hmm. You look up, and this incredibly precarious stone surface seems to go up and into the clouds itself. You are unable to glare past how far up this goes. Athletics check from everybody.
I think Xavier just stands in the back and goes, "You guys, go. I'll catch up."
You're hanging back, Xavier?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody starts to
He'll
go
be the
into...
last one to go.
Okay. Only Akil left.
I'll roll it for the hell of it, but I have a -2. Not bad.
Not too bad.
I'll lead the way, so maybe, like, because I got a 24, I can show them a better way to go.
Okay. Ronax. Actually, here, let me describe the scene. You all start to dig your hands and whatever grappling tools you have into the rocky surface of the side of this steep wall, climbing up and up and up. You go for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Oxygen becomes thin. You find it hard to breathe, having to push yourself past your physical limits. The walls threatening to slip your fingers off at each grasp. At a certain point, you climb and climb and climb and push yourself. Ronax, your lungs start to give up. This has been the most physical exertion that you've imposed on yourself in the longest time. Where are you in this line of people climbing? Say that. Okay, let's start from the top. Who's at the very top? I guess Nepenthe. Down from her. Who would like to be second?
Probably,
Xavier.
I think Ronax and I are in the back.
Okay.
Ronax and I are probably in the back. I'll be the last one going.
All right. Xavier, up ahead of you, Ronak stops. He breathes shallow breaths. And seemingly almost wants to pass out on the spot. Ronax, I need to make a constitution. Make a strength savings roll, actually.
As I see that, I'll wave up a hand in her direction and give her the warmth in her head of the Scarlet Inspiration, and it shows her just the burning firelight of the two of them igniting Vorix's core.
Okay. Ronax, add a d6 to that roll with Scholarly Inspiration. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to beat a 14, which you do. Ronax.
So as I show her that and say, just in her, not in her head, but I say to her, she hears, "Hey, no, it's hard. I'm really tired, but you gotta keep moving, or you fall."
Are you sure? I don't think I can do this.
We're fine. We're almost at the top. You just gotta keep pushing. You get the point where you can't breathe, but that's just your body reaching the point where it's telling you to stop for comfort purposes. But you push past that, and you break past that wall, and you can go a bit further.
You know, I don't think I've ever climbed rocks like this before. This is quite terrifying.
Pretty view, though. No, don't look down, actually.
Oh no, you shouldn't have said that. Oh, I don't want to look down. Okay, look up. I can't see anything. Okay. And she starts to climb up slowly.
Ronax. In a blink, a flash, a moment, your consciousness leaves you. Your eyes go white and you almost fall. Xavier's words catches you. In that moment of almost passing out, your claws grip strongly against the stone and you push to climb. You're almost there. You keep telling yourself that. The rest of you, watch the two at the back slow down if ever so slightly until they start to climb back up again.
Oh, we are so miles behind everybody else.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll a d6 minus 1. We have 5 members, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll roll a d6. No, actually, with Amabilis, that's 6. Ah! Ness.
Yeah, it takes us so much longer.
The cold, damp stone becomes slippery to the touch. As you are sent up further, looking at Nepenthe ahead of you, you climb, gripping the rock steadily, slowly, telling yourself it's going to be fine. But then your hand finds purchase on a jagged piece of ice and slips. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty. I assume this isn't related to the athletics check.
No, sir. This is the last legs of the climb.
Dexterity. That's a 12.
12 fail. Your hand loses grip as you try to grasp onto this jagged piece of ice. It crumbles. The rest of you look. Nepenthe, you look down. The rest of you look up. Ness's hands slip as he is only now hanging on by one arm to the top of this jagged rock. In quick reaction, what do you guys do?
Can I try to pull him back on to the ice?
I'm going to call this a athletics or acrobatics, your choice. And Ness, you roll me another athletics check as well.
There is. I would like to actually use my channel divinity.
Okay.
I'm going to use Nature's Wrath, targeting myself.
Okay.
To kind of bind myself to the rock until the others can help.
All right. In that moment, Nepenthe, you look down. Still make that athletics check for me. Ness, vines, roots grow outwards from the side of the cliffs, wrapping you to the side of this mountain. You hold an arm up towards Nepenthe. You try to reach down, grasping at his hand, but there's just not enough strength coming through to pull him up.
Shit.
Yeah, help.
The rest of you. You see this very clearly happen about 10-15 feet ahead of you. I suppose Ronax and Xavier would be a little behind. But in this moment, all of you, what do you do?
I have a thing I can do. I'm gonna use Thorn Whip.
Okay. On?
And on Ness
Okay.
to pull
Isn't that
him.
on towards you?
Well, just to like make sure that he doesn't fall anymore.
Oh, he's not falling currently. He is strapped
okay.
towards the side of the cliff with Nature's Wrath.
Okay, never mind.
What do you guys do? The thorns start to tear and give way.
Is there I'm going to look around. Is there anywhere that I can see within like 30 feet of me that's that I could stand on?
Perception check.
Ooh, perception, you say? That's a natural 20. 24 total.
You look up and to the side, about 20 feet off, in the direction to your direct northeast. You see a ledge, a small ledge, should be able to fit around one person standing, pressing themselves up against the wall.
Yep. In which case, Misty Step.
You watch Ness disappear from view. You worry for a moment as the vines are replaced by leaves and flowers and bits of cacti. Nepenthe, his hand disappears from you and you gasp until you hear appear about 20 feet from you, and you see that Ness is currently like standing like chest to the wall, as if like a bird had flown into a window sort of a situation. 20 feet to the right of you.
I'm okay. Mountains is very beautiful, but doesn't like being on the side of one.
Just glad you're okay, Ness.
Yeah.
Okay. The last of the climb, eventually, with much exertion of your physical capabilities to the limits, you reach now the top. And you pull yourselves up and over the ledge and just roll on the ground, exhausted, to now flat stone. You didn't notice, but coming up and passing by, you have crossed over the point where the clouds meet the top of the mountain and have gone above that point. You struggle to breathe, air being trapped in your lungs, just maintaining normal, constant breathing is difficult in this, and yet you are all panting heavily, trying to catch your breath. But you look up and over you. And what lays before you is almost like a scene from a dream. Flat stone cliffs and rock sides. These crevices, these jagged rocks that protrude out from the ground, a mix of white and black and brown and gray. And all among it are clouds on the floor, like soft mist enveloping the scene ahead of you. The very clouds that you look up into the sky, you are standing on. Not standing on the clouds itself, but the clouds almost seem to form this low fog on the floor of the mountaintop. You look still, this is not the very, very top of Mount Savithrash, but this seems to be the point where you are to find the temple. And as you do, you start walking, picking yourselves back up from that very difficult climb. Walking and walking and walking through the mists, the fog, the clouds. Eventually catching your breath about 15 minutes through. You start to see the shape of something massive ahead of you. Everybody making me a perception check.
Nine.
6, 9, 9. Akil, and there you go, Xavier. 16, 22. Ronax, Ness. For a moment, you are caught off guard as this huge figure stands cloaked in mist. Looking down at you, you pull out your weapons to prepare. But as you do, the clouds slowly fade away, and you see that Nepenthe, Akil, Xavier are not startled by this thing because this is a huge stone statue. We are talking 50 feet tall, made entirely of marble and white stone, smooth to the touch. This is a statue of a dragon. The same design as the one you saw in the underwater temple in the World Sea when you had gone underwater. Seems to be the same deity that this statue is depicting. It has reached nightfall by this point. You look up overhead as the clouds begin to clear. This statue stands directly beneath the Platinum Star. Because as you look up overhead, almost 90 degrees straight up is the Platinum Star shining down upon this very spot. Incredible, its design, how its construction managed to survive 2,000 years, still standing before you. And next to it is an archway, a huge entry that spans into darkness. Welcome to Uxelian. And that's where we're gonna take our break.
Ooh.
Alright. Be back in 10 minutes. We'll probably play until maybe an extra 50 more minutes after the break.
Alright, thanks you.
Cool.
Golf, if you need to sign off, this would be a good time.
Yeah, my brain hurt right.
I getcha, dude. I hope next week is better
I
for you.
would.
Have a good night.
Good
Have
night,
a
guys.
good session, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Bye.
Good night.
Roddy, does us turning our cameras off fuck you in the Riverside?
At first I thought it didn't, but it does.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought yeah. If we want to keep it up throughout the night, you have to not leave or turn your camera off for everyone.
Yeah, I'll work. Which is why I resorted to the third party website that allows us to fix our cameras in place, and so I can always use everybody's links to put their video feeds on the stream. But I'm fine with not using that if it's an inconvenience. But yeah, I'll keep coming up with new ways to improve the camera situation on the stream.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
I turn mine off when I get up, so I don't want people to see how fat I am.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm just not comfortable with that part, so I keep turning my camera off.
This has come a very, very long way. I'm proud of you.
You don't have to say that.
No. No goldfish.
No.
be right
There
back.
is. No, to apologize. Okay. I'm here.
Yes, I do. Everything's my fault.
Nazi Germany.
Yes. I'm actually.
Okay. Alright, we are back on stream. So, as you all start to slowly make your way through this huge archway guarded by the statue of a very large 50-foot tall dragon, the archway itself equally as large as the statue. You're surrounded in total darkness. Even those of you with dark vision struggle to see ahead of you. Slowly feeling your way through either with any source of light available. I guess that's a valid point to bring up. Who would like to use what as a source of light moving forward in this area?
I have a spell.
Just for kicks, I'll throw up my detect magic.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Are you
So if
using?
something happens, I might glow, but who knows?
Are you using light, Joe?
I'll save this for now. If someone has a less powerful way of doing this.
I believe I just have a torch in my pack.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright. So, Ronax, you light a torch. The rest of you are either able to see in darkness or through the blazing flame of the torch that Ronax is holding up. You look along the sides of each wall, and you just see these stone carvings, like the hallway you walked through back in Urin. The engravings on each side of the wall depicting the story of the grand nation that once was. Except this one is gigantic, massive, larger than life. You see once again depictions of the four elven kings. You see the magnum opus and each and every aspect of invention that the Siphanian society once had leading up to that small orb that represented their perfection. You see people with their hands raised up, dragonborn, all looking up towards this divine figure, this dragon, wings unfurled, larger than life, divine, looking over his subjects, the same dragon statue you saw out front, taking notes of the interior design of this cavern. You make your way further and further until you reach the end of the tunnel. Your torchlight does not go beyond, but at this point the pen's tattoos start glowing. Faintly. With all sorts of colors, just... What lies ahead of you contains within it all sorts of magic from different times, different ages. You feel it on your skin, stepping through like jolts of electricity. Your hair stands up on end. But as you walk through, you expect to see something spectacular, something grandeur that matches this feeling. But instead, what lies ahead of you are ruins. I liked very much these two pictures that represent what the city kind of felt like. The below image, this one down here, is what it would have looked like approaching as you left this cavern and peered down onto Uxelian. Though, as opposed to this picture where the city looks alive, vibrant, brimming with light, Uxelian looks dead, empty, abandoned, lightless. You see a few sparks of arcane light maybe flash up here and there, but the city is desolate. You look upon the main residential districts of the Siphanian Empire, or what is left of it. A large city under the mountains. You look and see out of game what looks to be a mixture of sandstone Egyptian architecture crossed with Aztec, crossed with Roman, like just this conglomeration of beautiful design unlike any you've ever seen. Ronax, you look ahead and take note of all the buildings that are built and neatly designed, its interiors, exteriors, everything. Immaculate carvings of smooth white stone. The beauty of it, but the desolation, the lifelessness. You see buildings collapse down on top of one another, the mountain crumbling. As you look down upon this city, steps lead down to its main street, a completely dead and abandoned civilization. You step forward.
Yes.
What's going through your mind at this point?
She's just imagining all of the people that were trapped at the first ruins that they came to, and how they must have had homes here. Families. Lives.
If you would like to, anybody who would like to be looking out can make perception checks for me. As you now descend into the city proper, looking upon its dead exterior. 9, 19. 20, okay. And an 8. Sight of the city, much larger than anything you've ever seen, contained within a small mountain cavern. You walk, and amongst its dark streets just slowly welcome you, an embrace of cold and desolation. Nest, your feet crunch on something. And you think nothing of it at first, but then Ronax and the Penth, you see that littering the ground are bones. Thousands of dragonborn bodies, children, adults, women, men, litter the streets. Continue on, still pushing forward, and as you ascend up the city, you are greeted with more dead, more bones. You see automaton, designs kind of like what you saw back in Urin and back in Iolos. Vorax shudders, a sense of fear, grief. You don't know what goes over the mind of a machine, but the core within his chest thrumps as 100 other Voraxes also litter the street, each accompanying their own dragonborn. You look ahead of you. Far, far ahead, in the deepest parts of the city, there is a tower. A tall structure, like an Aztec pyramid, that extends up above, overlooking everything else. And upon that tower, you start to hear a low rumble. Pieces of dust and stone start to fall down from the cavernous ceilings. And you see from behind the tower a set of wings unfurled. Not organic. Metal. 2 large sets of claws climb its way up to the pyramid, and pokes outward is the head of a dragon. Massive, like a real life-size dragon you've heard so much about in tales and legends and myths, stand before you. Metallic forms and gears unwind, steam explode out from its body.
Trespassers! Step thy foot more into the tomb of my masters, and I shall see you cleansed with infernal.
This metallic sort of rumble echoes throughout the city as Artorok, one of the 5 Stephanian colossi left behind, maddened by anger and the 2,000 years of isolation, furls its wings and flies towards the party. What do you do?
We do know its name, right?
Yes.
Can you tell it to me one more time?
Artorok.
In Draconic, Ronax calls out, "We are not your enemies! Hodorok! Stop! We are here to help you!"
The march of this gigantic metal dragon continues on, something burning in its eyes, fear, anger, desperation. Its claws reach out, striking at you. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
Do we get this with the +4 because Ness is nearby?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
Natural 20. A 10, 17, 18. Nepenthe, you are struck most heavily by this blow.
He has advantage.
Thank you. With a 21, all of you manage to dodge out of the way, but you watch Ronax stand completely still. The 3-pronged claws of this metallic dragon, she stands as it stops a mere inches from completely decimating her into paste, standing right there between its nails. It looks down at you. Steam exploding outwards from its mouth, it opens. You stare down its maw, fire flecking through its inferno-ridden throat mechanism. This fire burns right in front of you. And it holds. What do you do, Rodax?
She takes the pendant and she walks closer to it.
The fire burns, flicking its way up its throat now, almost gushing out at you. The rest of you, as this happens, what do you do? This is, by the way, for reference, the size of an ancient dragon.
Does this thing seem corrupted or anything?
Make an Arcana check.
Like, is this just one of those situations we have to talk it down or what? 18. I never roll well on Arcana checks.
It does not seem corrupted, but something in its eyes, the desperation in its voice, judging from the fact that it's been here alone for 2,000 years, watching everybody die around it. Its master is gone, being left alone here.
I want to get a sense of its intentions. Like, are we going to be able to be, like, how likely are we going to be able to talk this thing out of its rage, or are we in a fight here?
Judging from the fact that it's holding back and not burning Ronax to a crisp, that's probably a way to talk your way out of this.
I'm sorry.
The flames
You must be in so much pain.
As it growls, the cave rumbles. The rest of you, do you do anything?
She puts her hand on its face.
Ronax, make me an Arcana check with advantage. $16. The symbol on your neck. You watch its beady red eyes. These lights connect with it for about a moment as it blinks and flickers. You watch electricity spark up at the side of its head and down its wings. It closes its maw and withdraws. You hear this metallic dragon cry out in pain. Seeing that symbol appear before it again for the first time in 2,000 years, it looks towards all of you, towards Vorax, and steps down. Turns around and says, I'll do it with without the voice changer this time.
Be you an imposter who carries the sigil of my masters, or be you a true heir? Make thyself known. Ascend the city to the throne of King Sif and present thy symbol before the memoriam. Make it known, visitor. And should you be proven to be mere imposters, parading around the symbol of my people, then may your souls be burned in everlasting inferno.
It steps back and away. The ground rumbles with each of its steps. The wings unfurl, and it flies, lifting itself upwards back towards the towering pyramid at the end of town. Do you follow?
I think she turns around to everybody else. And she's crying.
Nepenthe will go up and hug her.
I hope they went well. But he suffered so long here. Can we help him, please? I don't care what we have to do. I want to help.
We will do all we can.
Making your way up top. The further you go, the more ruins, the more bones. And the further you walk, the more prosperous the city once was. Street lamps still flickering with the same orange light that once inhabited the city. The dome-like structures scattered all about. Among the residential districts of Uxelian lost to time, its people. You start to wonder, There was an exit that was there the entire time. Why didn't the people leave? They weren't trapped here. Why didn't they leave? You walk over a pile of bones, seemingly crushed under the houses that had fallen collapsed upon them on their way out of the door. Looking at the architectural integrity of this entire city, you slowly come to realize that whoever died, looking at the date of the bones within this city, all died at once, at the same time. Ronax, make a history check for me.
We're talking same moment or same years?
Same moment. Those that maybe survived didn't make it out of that moment. History 23. You recall the words of Archie, who said that once the city and the entire kingdom of Sif floated above the sky. This massive floating kingdom, its cities, its automatons conquering the air, the skies itself. And here it is on the ground. And you think back to Realm Shatter. And you think to how the dispersion of magic must have affected whatever held these cities aloft in the sky. They fell. They fell miles out of the sky. This huge, gigantic city, all of its residents, sent screaming, plummeting out of the blue beyond as Realm Shatter struck and dispersed all magic in the realm. These cities fell into these mountains, its people crushed under the weight, the gravity of the fall, all at once, gone. And you eventually reach the pyramid that Artorok calls the throne. Seems too mundane to be a palace. Yet the architecture stands out from the rest of the city. You approach its doors, closed stone gates, bearing the symbol of Sif once more, the half moon, with a beam of light coming from the side. Sorry, a half moon with a circle and a star on top. As you approach, these gates remain shut to you. You hear Artorok's breath rumble at the thought that you may be imposters. Angered. But then the symbol on your chest is recognized by the door as it spins and slides open. Tension falls. You look into the darkened interior of what looks like an open hall. No throne, no chairs, no furniture. But a single floating obelisk stands in the center.
Before she enters the chambers, can we see Artorok?
He is on top of the pyramid. I will say that this pyramid is sort of like there are open windows on all sides. Therefore, they're not like glass pane windows, but they are open spaces, foyers where you can look towards the outside. Artorok lowers its head down and look out into the pyramid itself from the outside.
She looks to him and she says, Nemanis. That is my name. My last name.
You are of the two researchers, their offspring. But how? Almost so much time has passed. How?
Magic, science, alchemy. The same things that brought you to life helped me get here.
Why didn't you come sooner? We were here, all of us. Just trapped. Still, but living. For thousands of years. Why today did you choose to walk through those doors? Nemanis.
Time. It is a fickle creature, as you know. But hopefully we can make up for that lost time. And she walks forward into the room. Up to the obelisk.
Echoing sounds of your footsteps sound throughout the hall. This obelisk held aloft, maybe 2 feet off the ground, pulsating, a soft brim of arcane energy, whatever is left in the remains of the city of Uxelian. You hear a soft hum, almost like the crystal you walked up to in Slumberlog. Are you making a dick joke? Is that what's happening?
It's not got that bad yet.
Making up for last time.
Okay. Always assume the worst.
Yeah.
What does the obelisk look like?
Smooth black stone. No, sorry. Smooth white stone. Marble or some sort of aged and distant stone that you do not recognize. Completely smooth to the touch like sandstone, but solid. Almost like steel. No engravings, no writing, it's just a piece of stone in the center of an empty room.
I breathe fire on it, yeah.
Slowly, your fire extends outwards from your maw, flecking onto the sides of this obelisk. You see that it fills with warmth. A red glow emanates, but not enough. It dims once more.
Does it seem like I need to put more oomph into it?
Yes, and there seems to be something else. Make a perception check, Ronak.
Just trying to figure out if I need to use the pendant again or not, or if I...
8. You asked the right question. The pendant is probably involved somewhere in this, but you don't know how or where.
The pendant. I have an idea what it looks like. Could you describe it to me, though?
The pendant is a sort of flat, circular-shaped object made of water opal. Symbol of the half moon and the star and the moon above it. Sorry, a circle and a star above it. It is a flat circular object.
Does it look like there's any divots or anything like that in the obelisk?
You keep asking the right question, so I'm gonna negate that 8 in perception and say that as you look around towards the back, there are 4 identical sides to this thing, but towards the back you find a very convenient shaped divot, about the right size for your pendant.
Ooh.
Clack. Still needs the power.
I look at Xavier and I say, well, this isn't Vorax, but perhaps you might be able to give me a hand here anyway.
You're muted, by the way.
How so? Yeah, no.
When we shift his element, and when we powered him on, you directed my flame. Made it stronger. Would
I
you
just
help me do
channeled
the same here?
I just channeled it. Something like this, I don't think it needs channeling. It needs the real stuff. You got this.
And she lets out a torrent of flame, and it burns hotter and hotter. And you can see her taking deeper breaths and continuing to channel it more and more and more until it gets to a point where it starts to change color.
You all watch in silence, standing back. The efforts of someone who is the last of her people. The last Siphanian breathes all of her earnest, most raw fire into this obelisk, which lights up with an amber glow. Up to the top, fills with writing. And you watch as divots in the ground, these tubes start to also light up with the same orange energy, extending outwards like the roots of a tree into the city itself. On the obelisk you read, Memoriam, Ascension, to the peak of the city lies the throne of King Sif. To my people, you may find no throne, no king. But to this singular black obelisk stone is what I leave to you. The foundings of our nation, the memories stored in our lives, our thoughts, our knowledge of the Siphanian kingdom as it once was. King Sif is no person, no royalty, no governing power, but is a centrifugal ideal. Siphana's progression towards knowledge. Engrave this in your heart, visitor. The memoriam, the ideal of King Sif, the ever-steady march towards progress and betterment of each other's lives. Channel that progress.
Use that knowledge for the help and betterment of others and of yourself. I leave you with this. Gaze this view of what may now be lost, but what once was. The amber glow extends out, pulsating, a wave of energy through the city, illuminating each and every street, every light, every house with vibrant golden and blue light. The streets become vibrant once more, brimming with colors. You hear sounds, gears, machines striking metal. The energy continues to pulse and spread, empowering the obelisk. You start to feel a shake. The ground rumbles beneath your feet. As the city lifts up off the ground once more. This rumble continues, the streets still intact, but falling to dust. And for those 10 minutes that the city lifts up into the air, you watch holographic images of a city filled with life come to life before your eyes. You see that levitating over Savitrash Peak, now moving upwards what once was Uxelian, its inhabitants, its children, its people, mothers, fathers, teachers, blacksmiths, scientists, soldiers, poets, writers, painters, children, philosophers. Walk its streets, talking. Not real, but vibrant as the day that it once was. You hear their chatter in Old Draconic, the recitation of their poetry, their songs, their music, their work. The city shines, vibrant, and you all take the sight in with unyielding determination. Restored. Of course, these figures slowly fade out one by one. The strike of the metal on the blacksmith's hammer go quiet. The laughter of the children hang in the air, dry, like paint on the wall. The laughter of soldiers, their mothers, their fathers, fade. But the soft orange glow remains. The city has restored and continues to be held aloft. You have not only uncovered, but restored to its former glory, the largest city in the Kingdom of Sith. And with a loud roar, not a saddened one this time, but one of recollection, one of memory, Arturok yells out into the sky once more as you watch the ceiling overhead crumble and slowly fall. He flies up, rushes up towards the falling piece of rock that now descends upon the city, strikes it with his claw, breaking it into 1,000 pieces, and flies out into the sky. And above your head, the brightest, most colorful stars, and the platinum star shining directly down upon the last city. And that's where we end tonight's session.
So pretty, I can just see it.
I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us, stream. We'll see you next week for the continuation, hopefully with a full party this time. Have a good day,
Bye,
night.
stream.
Bye-bye.